Hello and welcome to my channel. In this section of the video, we are going to cover 20 practice questions, okay? 20 practice questions that you should have gone through before you take your PMP exams. So these are the practice questions which I've also created. However, my extra effort was to link these specific practice questions to pages or sections in the PM book edition 8, where you can also go and make reference in case there are some weak areas you've discovered as you practice. You can also make reference to the PM book, and then you can also get some explanations. You can go through these practice questions, or maybe you can even get an exam simulator that is also going to give you some of these similar questions. We are going to cover the question. We are also going to cover the answer. We are also going to cover why that answer is correct. We are also going to cover the mindset to eliminate some of these answers. And we are also going to cover a reference to PM book page where you might be interested in reading further in terms of understanding the concepts and also the ideas and also the mindset that was used to eliminate some of these questions. Practice question number 61. A team wants to choose the cheapest supplier, but the quality risk is high. What should the project manager do? Okay. So what is our problem statement here? The team, they want to choose the cheapest supplier, but the quality risk is high. What should the project manager do? A, consider total value, quality risk, and procurement criteria before. Okay, I like this one because they are considering value here and also the quality. B, choose the cheapest supplier automatically. As a project manager, you don't do things automatically. There must be some human intervention to assess the situation, making this one incorrect. Then C, choose the most expensive supplier. All right, the team is asking for cheapest supply. So as a project manager, you cannot just go and choose the expensive supplier, making this one incorrect. Let the supplier decide the selection criteria. Supplier cannot decide on behalf of the client. So as a project manager, you're the one who is supposed to do this. Making A the best answer in this scenario. So you need to consider total value, quality, risk, and also procurement criteria before recommending anything to do with supply. So what is our reference here? In PM book, we are referencing focus on value principle. What does it say? Focus on value emphasizes decisions, okay, that should protect, It emphasizes decisions that should protect intended outcomes, benefits, and also a stakeholder. Then the best mindset here is the best value is not always the lowest price. Sometimes you might have something very expensive but low value, something very cheap but high value. So making A the best answer, because supply decisions should balance costs, okay, quality, risk, and also value, making A the best answer. Practice question number 62. A project has frequent agent defects after every release. What should the project manager do? Okay, so this is also classified as hard in terms of the question. So what is our problem statement? The project has frequent defects after every release. Okay, so which means after every release they are finding defects. What should the project manager do? A is to analyze root cause and improve quality process. I like the word analyze root cause here. Add more people only. This does not address the problem of defects. All right? Hide defects in separate log. Don't hide anything. Ethics, project management ethics does not allow for this. So making this one incorrect. Stop releasing forever. You don't stop activities in a project just like that. Making this one incorrect. So the best answer here is A. You need to analyze the root cause and improve the quality process, because this is to do with defects. Okay, every release you're having defects, so you need to analyze what is causing these defects. And what is our reference in PM book? Embed quality processes and deliverable principles. What does it say? The quality principle emphasizes building quality into processes, deliverables, instead of relying on the final inspection. So you have quality throughout the project. And the best mindset to apply to this particular question is you need to fix the processes, not just the symptoms. So this specific answer is fixing the process. Once you get the root cause, you are able to fix the process, making A the best answer, because Recurring defects indicates quality process weakness, okay? That might require root cause analysis, making A the best answer. Practice question number 63. An agile team is self-organizing, but a manager keeps assigning tasks directly. What should the project manager do? So we have a problem here. We have a team, agile team, that is self-organizing, but the manager is still assigning tasks, which means the manager is behaving as if this is a predictive environment. What should the project manager do? Okay, coach the team manager and team on the agreed roles and empowerment. This makes sense. You want to coach them on more on the agile activities. Okay. Then B, let the manager continue because hierarchy always wins. In a project environment, managers, in most cases, you find they're not subject matter experts. So allow the team to self-organize in an agile environment, making this one incorrect. Remove the team from planning. You don't just remove the team from planning. You need the team for project planning, making this one incorrect answer. Escalate without discussion. Don't escalate in a project unless it's something that is beyond your authority or your approval. As a project manager, try to resolve issues at project level, making this one incorrect. So the best answer here is A. You need to coach the manager and the team on agreed roles and also empowerment. What is our reference to our PM book? We have to build an empowered culture principle. You get it on page 53. What does it say? An empowered culture supports trust, collaboration, accountability, and team ownership of delivered outcomes. All right. The best mindset that you can also apply in this scenario is protect empowerment through coaching and also role clarity. So this is very important mindset. If you are protecting empowerment through coaching, then it makes A the best answer in this particular scenario using that mindset. Making A the best answer because self-organizing, it needs support, leadership, and also clear boundaries. Making A the best answer in this scenario. Practice question number 64. A schedule compression option can meet the deadline but increase risk and cost. What should the project manager do? Right? So project manager is supposed to make the right decision here. What is our problem statement? We have a schedule compression. Okay. Schedule compression, you can even use it through the fast track. Also, if you want to do it that way. Then you also have compression options that can meet the deadline, but it's going to increase the risk and also the cost. So this is what is normally called crashing when it comes to project compression, because here we're increasing the cost. So what should the project manager do? Present trade-offs and seek decision through governance. Okay, it makes sense. Trade-offs here. Then apply compression secretly. As a project manager, everything should be transparent. So this one cannot be the answer. Refuse to discuss options. Don't reject anything in a project. Always be open to options. So this one cannot be the answer. Reduce the scope without approval. You don't just go and reduce the scope. It's the responsibility in a predictive environment of the sponsor and the users. In Agile, it has to be done by the product owner. So making this one incorrect answer. So the best answer here is A. Okay, which is to present trade-offs and seek decision through governance. All right, and what is our reference? Schedule performance domain, page 47 to 58. What does it say in terms of schedule? Domain, it focuses on planning, development, monitoring, and also sequencing. So this is schedule compression, okay, but it's going to result in high risk and also a cost. So what is the mindset? The best mindset here is to make the trade-off transparent. This is very important for this particular question. So now the trade-offs, they are now seek decision on governance. So you now have a trade-off, you discuss with the stakeholders, and then you agree. Making A the best answer because schedule compression affects constraints and should be decided clear with clear impact information, making A the best answer in this scenario. All right. A stakeholder claims a requirement was promised verbally by a former project manager. It is not documented. What should the current project manager do? So our problem statement with a stakeholder who is claiming that there was a requirement which was promised verbally, okay? It was never documented. What should the current project manager do? A is to review records, clarify the need, and also process any change format. Okay, this makes sense. You want to know more about this verbally agreed requirement. Right B, accept the claim automatically. You don't just go into accepting without understanding the historical part of it, without understanding what exactly is the stakeholder expecting, making this one incorrect answer. Reject stakeholder permanently. You don't reject stakeholders in a project environment. So I don't know why someone would choose an answer like this one. It's incorrect. Then D, ask the team to edit without analysis. You don't just jump into action. You need to analyze and understand, making A the best answer in this scenario. So you need to review the records, clarify the need with the stakeholder, okay? And also process any change formally. In case this change is going to be implemented, it was done verbally previously, but it has to be formally documented, which is part of A answer. And what is our reference? Into PM book, scope performance domain, page 36 to 46. All right. And the best mindset that you can also apply here is clarify and document the expectations and use the change control. This is the best mindset that you can use in this particular scenario. Making A the best answer because verbal claims, they require verification and formal handling, okay? If they affect scope, making A the best answer. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe button, and the notification button so that you are the first person to be notified each time a new video is uploaded on this channel. It will also help the channel to grow. It will also help the channel to produce more videos like this one. Practice question number 66. During risk review, the team says a high impact risk is unlikely and should be ignored. What should the project manager do? What is our problem statement? There's a risk review meeting, right? Then the team is saying a high impact risk is unlikely. Okay, this is what they are saying and should be ignored. What should the project manager do? A, ensure it is analyzed and an appropriate response or what strategy is defined. Okay, I like this one. Analyzed. Right? Delete it because probability is low. You don't delete risks because someone is saying it should be ignored, making this one incorrect. Wait until it becomes an issue. You don't wait in a project. You're going to cause delay. What if this issue is going to be a blocker? So you can't take this as the best option for now. Ask only the sponsor to decide without the team. You can only go to the sponsor if it's something beyond your authority or you require approval, making this one incorrect. So the best answer in this scenario is A. So why is A the best answer? You have to ensure you are analyzing, okay? The appropriate response, okay? Instead of saying it should be ignored, like what is coming from the team. Remember, this one has got a high impact. So the moment you ignore, if it happens, then you'll be in trouble. So what is our reference? Risk performance domain, where you have to identify the risk. You also need to come up with risk responses. And what is the best mindset to respond to this? So the best mindset is high impact still deserves attention. Remember, this one has got high impact. So there's no way this can be ignored. It has got high impact, so it requires attention. Making A the best answer because low probability, high impact risks, they require contingence, monitoring, and also escalation, making A the best answer. Then the practice question number 67. A project's benefits depend on users changing their daily process, but training has been cut. What should the project manager do? Okay. So our problem statement here is project benefits depends on users changing their daily process, but training has been cut. So we don't have training here. It has been cut. This is what is coming out here, right? What should the project manager do? Okay. So A is to raise the impact on value realization and recommend corrective action. Okay. I like the word on value realization and impact. So I'll leave this one out for now. Accept the cut silently because training is not a deliverable. Training is one of the most important activities in a project environment. You need to train your team, make them capable of delivering the deliverables in a project environment, making this one incorrect. Right? Close the project entirely. You don't just close the project because the training has been cut. So this one cannot be the correct answer for now. Ask users to learn by trial and error. You don't do trial and error. During execution of a project, you need to develop your team so that they are also capable. So the difficult level of this is also hard. So the best answer here is A, okay? You need to raise the impact on value realization, okay? And also recommend the action. Because Remember, this is the project benefit is depending on users changing their daily processes, which means they're going to change what they've been doing all along. But training also has been cut. So you need to raise that in terms of value realization. And our reference in PM book is a focus on value principles. The best mindset to apply here is to protect outcome, which is very important, not just deliverables. You can have deliverables, but what is the outcome, the goals, objectives of the project? That is what you are supposed to protect. Making A the best answer because benefits may fail without adoption support, so the impact must be visible and addressed. Making A the best answer. Practice question number 68. A team member reports a possible ethical concern involving vendor gifts. What should the project manager do? Okay, so we have a team member here. He is raising possible ethical concern about some gifts that is happening in the project. The difficult level is hard here. What should the project manager do? Number one, follow ethics, procurement, and governance procedures transparently. I like this one. You're following ethics. Ignore if it is project is ignore it if the project is on schedule. You don't ignore issues or risks in a project environment. So making this one incorrect. Accept gifts if they are small. You don't accept gifts because they are small. It depends. In some countries, in some laws, it's not allowed. So this cannot be the best answer in this particular scenario because this is coming from a member and some ethical issues. Ask the team member to stay quiet. You don't do this. You are hiding information. It's unethical. As a project manager, you don't do unethical you don't do unethical things in a project environment. So it makes A the best answer in this particular scenario. So you need to follow ethics because this team member is raising ethical concerns here because of gifts. So you need to follow ethics. What is our reference in PM book? Be an accountable leader. Okay. What does it say? Accountable leader requires ownership, transparency, ethical behavior, and also responsible decision making. So what is our best mindset to apply to this particular scenario? You need to act ethically and follow policy, which exactly is what we have here. You need to follow ethics on our answer, procurement, and also government procedures transparently. So making A the best answer because ethical concerns, they require transparent handling through appropriate procedures, making A the best answer. Practice question number 69. A project is behind schedule because appropriate approvals are delayed by a governance board that meets monthly. What should the project manager do? So the difficult level is hard, right? So let us go through the problem statement here. A project is behind schedule. So we have a project that is behind schedule because approvals are delayed. So approvals are being delayed by governance board that is meeting monthly. So that's a big problem. You have delays in approvals because the governance board is meeting monthly. What should the project manager do? Let us go through the answers now. Analyze impacts and propose tailored decisions mechanisms for time-sensitive approvals. Okay, it makes sense. If you start by analyzing, it makes sense. You get more information before you make a decision. Skip all board approvals. There was a reason why the approvals from the board were supposed to be done. So you cannot all of a sudden start skipping them, making this answer incorrect. Stop tracking the schedule. As a project manager, you cannot stop tracking schedule. It's one of the items you should keep to your chest throughout the project, making this one an incorrect answer. Ask the team to approve the changes themselves. Approvals, if they are supposed to be done by high authority, you cannot ask your team to be doing that, making this one incorrect. So therefore, the best answer in this scenario is actually A, which is to analyze the impacts, propose tailored decisions mechanism, and also time-sensitive approvals. And how do we reference this to our PM book? You go to governance performance domain, which is page 10 to page 37. What does the governance performance domain say? It supports alignment, accountability, decision paths, performance monitoring, assessing and implementing changes throughout the governance process. And the best mindset that could be used in this scenario is you need to improve governance flow without bypassing authority. So in this particular scenario, you cannot ask, because they're waiting for approvals, this team, You cannot ask the team to bypass governance, okay? Governance board's approval because they are being delayed. You have to follow that. Making A the best answer because tailoring governance can reduce delay whilst it's also maintaining control. Making A the best answer. Practice question number 70. A stakeholder complains that risks are discussed too late. What should the project manager do? Okay, so the difficult level here is high. So what is our problem statement? We have a stakeholder who is complaining that the risks being discussed too late. Okay, he's complaining that the risks are being discussed too late. So this is the problem statement. What should the project manager do? Okay, so A, improve risk communication, timing, and stakeholder improvement. Okay, makes sense because you are improving risk communication here. Send the risk register only at closure. This is not how you behave in a project environment. Risk register is supposed to be updated, reviewed continuously throughout the project, making this one incorrect answer. Stop discussing risks to avoid concern. You cannot stop discussing risk. Every project, I'm yet to see a project which doesn't have a risk from my experience. So it means you have to discuss risk, making this one an incorrect answer. Ask the stakeholder to ignore risk information. You don't ignore risk information. Risk is actually very important because it gives you that proactive time to look at how you're going to respond in case it materializes, making this incorrect answer. So the best answer here is A. Okay? You need to improve risk communication, timing, and also stakeholder involvement. Now, how do we reference this to our PM book? Risk performance domain, which is on page 92 to 102. What does it say? Risk domain, it includes planning, okay, risk identification, analysis, implementation of responses, okay. So this stakeholder is complaining that the risks are being discussed too late, all right. So what is the best mindset that you should apply here? You need to communicate risks early enough for action. The earlier you understand the risk, the better for you because you can also try to put the risk responses that you have to apply at that particular moment in case it's going to materialize into an issue. Right, making A the best answer because the risk management includes timely communication and also stakeholder participation. So in this particular scenario, the difficulty level is actually very hard. It's very important to understand that if there's a stakeholder who is complaining that risks are being discussed too late, it's best for you to improve the risk communication and timing and also stakeholder involvement so that that stakeholder can also be involved in some of these discussions when it comes to risk communication. And that is also under the risk performance domain, making A the best answer in this scenario. I'm also going to leave a link in the description below where you can download these slides that we have gone through in this particular video. This is question number 71. A project has an approved scope, but users discover a missing regulatory data field during EAT. What should the project manager do? Okay. So what is our problem statement here? The project has approved scope. So scope has been approved. But users, they are discovering missing regulatory data fields during EAT. So something regulatory is mandatory, okay? So let us look at the answers now. A, analyze the requirement, compliance, impact, and change path. Okay, I like the word analyze. Analyze allows you to have more information on the issue. Reject it because VAT is too late. You cannot reject this. This is a regulatory issue. It's mandatory. You have to do it. So this is not an answer. Tell users to fix it after go live. You cannot postpone regulatory issues. It has to be fixed during this project. Then remove VAT from the plan. There is no way you can remove VAT. This is the only opportunity for users to test before they go live, making this incorrect answer. So the best answer here is A, which is to analyze the requirements, compliance impact, and also the change path. Right, and what is our reference here? We have a scope performance domain, which says it covers requirements, scope definition, scope structure, scope monitoring, and also validation of completed deliverables. So the best mindset here is to treat late discovered requirements with analysis and governance. Always analyze everything that is coming to you in a project environment. Try to understand the impact, to assess the impact on cost, risk, quality, and so on and so forth. So this is a compliant issue. So you have to make sure that you analyze it before you implement it. Making A the best answer, because regulatory gaps, they require impact assessment rather than just automatic rejection. In some cases, you cannot reject something that is coming from the regulator. Making this A the best answer. So practice question number 72. In experienced team, they want less detailed task reporting. Sponsors still need milestone visibility. What should the project manager do? What is our problem statement here? We have an experienced team that wants less detailed task because they're experienced. So they don't want something to be very detailed, okay? That they are reporting to the project sponsor. This project sponsor still needs milestone visibility. What should the project manager do? Let us go through the answers now. Tailor reporting to lean maturity whilst preserving sponsor visibility. Okay. So tailor reporting to team maturity while preserving the sponsor visibility. I like this one, team maturity, because they said they're experienced. Remove all reporting. You don't remove reporting. Reporting is very important in every project environment. Increase reporting for everyone. You don't increase reporting. You need to tailor reporting, making this one incorrect. Let each team member report in any format. This does not work in a project environment. There must be a tailored format for each and every team that is working the project. Making A the best answer in this particular scenario. So you need to tailor reporting. The sponsor, he wants to see visibility. This is what the sponsor is asking for. And also in terms of tailoring, you have experienced team members. They don't want these detailed tasks for reporting. Okay, so tailoring is the best here. It will satisfy both teams and also the sponsor. And what is our reference to our PM book is tailoring, which is also on page 103 to page 112. Also, the best mindset that you can use to answer this is you need to tailor control to fit maturity and also stakeholder needs. This is a very important mindset for this. Tailoring is very important in every environment, whether it's communication, it's documentation, it's reporting, and so on and so forth. It has to be tailored according to the stakeholders and also according to the needs. Making A the best answer, because the project manager can reduce unnecessary detail while maintaining meaningful oversight. Making A the best answer. Practice question number 73. The sponsor asks the project manager to approve a change outside delegated authority. What should the project manager do? Okay. So the sponsor is asking the project manager to approve a change that is outside project manager's authority. What should the project manager do? A, direct the request to appropriate change authority with impact analysis. It makes sense because this is beyond the delegated authority. So it has to go to someone else beyond the project manager. Approve it because the sponsor added. No, you cannot do this. This is beyond the authority as a project manager. Right? Ask the team to start while approval is pending. It has to be approved. In project management, something to be done has to be approved first for future reference. So this cannot be the answer. Ignore the sponsor. You cannot ignore issues or risks in a project environment, making this one incorrect answer. So the best answer here is A. You need to direct, okay? You need to direct the request to appropriate change authority because this is beyond your authority as a project manager. Even if the sponsor is asking this to be done, you still need to do the right thing in a project environment. And what is our reference to PM book? Governance performance domain, okay, which is on page 10 to 37. What does it say? It says it supports alignment, accountability, decision path, performance monitoring, assessing, implementing changes, and also governance mechanism. So in this case, this is where we are talking of our governance mechanism. It has to go to the right change authority. And the best mindset to apply to this particular scenario is respect authority limits and also governance. This is very important. In a project environment, you should respect your limits as a project manager. Making A the best answer because changes should be approved by the right authority, okay, using proper impact information. So the proper impact information, this is what the project manager is actually giving. He has done the impact analysis and then giving it to the right authority, making A the best answer in this scenario. Right, practice question number 74. A project manager sees the project A project manager sees that the project is delivering outputs but not enabling the intended business outcome. What should they do? Okay, so what is our problem statement here? Project manager is seeing that the project is delivering outputs, but it's not enabling intended business outcome. What should they do? So A, engage sponsors and stakeholders to assess value alignment and corrective options. I like this one, value alignment. Continue producing outputs without decision. This is dangerous in a project environment. You now need to understand whatever you're producing, is it giving value or not? Making this one incorrect answer. Close the project immediately. You don't close the project because the outcomes are not intended, are not aligned to the intended business outcome. No, you need to assess and understand from stakeholders what is the intended business outcome, and then you start aligning your deliverables to the outcomes, making this one incorrect answer. Stop measuring outcome. You don't stop measuring outcome. You cannot do this in a project environment. So in this scenario, it makes A the best answer. You need to engage the sponsor and stakeholders to increase value alignment and also corrective options. So what is our reference to our PM book? You focus on value principle. What does it say? Value principle, it emphasizes decisions that protect intended outcome, which is part of our question here, okay? And stakeholder value rather than simply producing outputs. So in our answer here, we're engaging sponsor, we're engaging stakeholders, okay? We are also doing value alignment for corrective options. So the best mindset also that can be applied in this scenario is to measure progress against outcomes and not outputs. So progress must be against project outcomes, not just on outputs, okay? Making A the best answer because value alignment must be addressed with decision makers before more effort is actually wasted, making A the best answer. Practice question number 75. Team velocity has dropped after a reorganization. What should the project manager do first? So team velocity is how much they can do in a sprint, okay? And in this particular scenario, it has dropped. So this is our issue after reorganization. So there was a reorganization that led to the drop in team velocity, how much they can produce within a specific sprint. So let's go through the answers now. Understand the impact on team dynamics, capabilities, capacity, and also commitments. All right, this makes sense. You need to understand team dynamics. Demand the original velocity immediately. You don't demand when you're working especially in an agile environment where you're supposed to be a servant leader and the team is supposed to be self-organizing. You cannot demand things from them. Making this one incorrect answer. Replace the whole team. This, I'm not sure if someone is going to select this answer. You cannot replace the whole team in a project environment, making this one incorrect. Hide the change from stakeholders. You cannot hide things in a project environment. Always be transparent. Making A the best answer in this particular scenario. So the team velocity has changed after reorganization. So this is team dynamics. So you need to understand the impact of team dynamics, capacity, and also commitments, which is what has also affected the team velocity. So what is our reference in terms of our PM book? Resource performance domain. Okay, so this is our reference where your resource planning, estimation, and also leading the team and also monitoring. So you reorganize the team, the amount of work they were able to complete in a sprint has been reduced. So you need to understand what was the impact of that. And what is the best mindset in this particular scenario? You need to assess people and capacity impacts before action. So before reorganization, the best was to assess the capacity and also the impact, making A the best answer because organizational changes, they affect resources and even team performance, and they need analysis before you take action, making A the best answer. Practice question number 78. A customer wants to add sustainability reporting late in the project. Okay, it aligns with corporate goals but affects effort. What should the project manager do? So the level of difficulty here is also hard. All right, what is our problem statement? A customer, they wants to add sustainability reporting. Okay, late in the project, but it aligns with corporate goals. It's going to affect the effort. So what should the project manager do? Okay, so let's go through the answers now. Evaluate value, sustainability benefit, and impact through change. I like this one. When you start evaluating, you're going to get more information before you take action. Reject it because it was late. You don't just reject issues, risks, or things in a project environment like this, making this one incorrect. Edit secretly. Don't do anything that is not transparent. So this cannot be the answer. Remove another deliverable without approval. You don't just remove deliverables in a project. You need, in most cases, you need approvals, especially if it is a predictive environment, making this an incorrect answer. So the best answer here is A. So A is our best answer. Even if this is aligning with corporate, you still need to evaluate value, benefit, and also the impact, okay, for this sustainability reporting. What is our link to our PM book? Integrate sustainability within project area principles, which is page 48 to 52. What does it say? The sustainability principle encourages consideration of long-term, social, environmental, economic impacts throughout the project. And the best mindset that you can apply to this scenario is you need to consider sustainability whilst you are using governance, all right? Making A the best answer in this scenario. Why? Because sustainability can add value, but effort and trade-offs must be assessed formally, making A the best answer. Practice question number 77. A supplier proposes a design change that lowers cost, okay, but shifts maintenance burden to operation. What should the project manager do? So what is our problem statement? We have a supplier who is proposing a design change that is going to lower the cost, but it is also going to shift the maintenance burden to operations. So what should the project manager do? Involve operations and evaluate total life cycle impact, okay? I like the word involve. The moment you involve your stakeholders, you get to know more and you can come up with better solutions. Accept immediately because project cost decreases. No, you don't just accept. The project cost is going to decrease, okay? But you're now shifting the burden to operations. How is it going to affect operations when you hand over the project to operations? Making this incorrect answer. Ignore operations because they are not on the project team. Ignore operations because they are not on the project team. You don't ignore stakeholders. You engage them. You sit with them. You understand them. You try to see how are you going to work with them throughout the project. So this cannot be the answer in this scenario. Okay. Reject all supplier ideas. You don't just reject. You need to analyze, understand, and also appreciate where the other stakeholders are coming from. All right. Making A the best answer in this scenario. So A is the best answer. Even if the supplier is proposing a design change that is going to lower the cost, you still need to involve the operations because the burden is going to be shifted to operations. And you also need to evaluate the total life cycle impact. This is very, very important. What is our reference to our PM book? We need to adopt a holistic view principle, right? Which is also on page 30 to 39. What does a holistic view principle talk about? It considers the wider system, interactions, dependencies, stakeholder constraints, and also consequences. So what does it mean? You have a supplier who is proposing something that is going to lower the cost, but it's going to affect operations. So you need to integrate. You need to make sure all the systems, they are working together. What is the impact of integrating that? And what is the best mindset that you can apply here? You need to look beyond project delivery into operations. When you finish your project, you're going to hand over to operations. So you don't want to hand over to operations, then you start facing issues from that point onwards. Making A the best answer because lowering project cost can reduce overall value if it harms operations. People might not accept it when you hand over to operations. Making A the best answer in this scenario. All right, practice question number 78. A risk response is implemented, but the residual risk remains high. What should the project manager do? Okay, so our problem statement here is we have a risk response that is implemented, but the residual risk, which is coming out of that implementation, is still very high. What should the project manager do? Reassess the risk and plan additional responses or escalation if needed. I like this one. When you are reassessing, you're giving yourself enough time to look at the problem, get more information, and sort it out. Close the risk because action was taken. You don't close the risk. You're being told there's still a residual risk, which is very high. So this cannot be the answer. Hide the residual risk. You don't hide anything in a project environment. You need to be transparent and honest. Then D, transfer ownership to the customer without agreement. You don't transfer without agreement. Engage. Always work with the customers. always discuss with the customers on the best way forward, making this one an incorrect answer. So the best answer here is A. Okay. You need to reassess the risk and to plan additional responses or escalation if needed. So the best answer here is A. Because the risk response has been implemented, you can see it here, but there's a residual risk, which is also still very high. What is our reference to our PM book? It's a performance domain, all right? Risk performance domain. And the mindset that you should apply here is you need to monitor response effectiveness and residual exposure. So when you come up with your responses, when you're implementing them, you also need to assess to make sure they're very effective, making A the best answer because implemented responses must be checked and also residual must be managed, making A the best answer. Practice question number 79, okay? The team reports that stakeholder feedback is contradictory and changes weekly. What should the project manager do? So our problem statement here is, the team is reporting that a stakeholder feedback is contradictory and is changing weekly. What should the project manager do? A, facilitate prioritization and also decision rules with key stakeholders. I like this one. When you're facilitating with key stakeholders, you're bringing people together to give you solutions. Then B, ask the team to satisfy every request. You don't ask the team to satisfy every request. You need to understand, because remember, the team is reporting that the feedback is contradictory, okay? And it's changing weekly. So the best is to meet with the stakeholders here, making this one incorrect answer. Stop collecting feedback. You don't stop collecting feedback. Feedback is very important for improvement, either in the current phase or also in the next project, making this one an incorrect answer. Choose feedback randomly. You don't choose feedback randomly. You need to take all the feedback as it comes, making this one incorrect. So the best answer here is A. Okay. So you need to facilitate prioritization and also decision rules with key stakeholders. This is very important because our problem here is the team is reporting that stakeholder feedback is contradictory and is changing every week. So you need to facilitate that prioritization and also decision rules on these ones. What is our reference to PM book? Is a stakeholder performance domain, all right? And what is the mindset that is applicable in this particular scenario? You need to create clarity, stakeholder feedback conflicts, okay? So this is very important. If there's a stakeholder feedback that is conflicting, you need to seek clarification from the stakeholders. Therefore, making A the best answer, because feedback needs structured prioritization and also decision-making to protect delivery, making A the best answer. Practice question number 80. A senior manager wants a task assigned to their preferred resource, even though that resource lacks capacity. What should the project manager do? Okay. So our problem statement, we have a senior manager who wants a task assigned to their preferred resource, even though that resource lacks capacity, right? So let's go through the answers. Review capacity, raw fit, and impacts before agreeing. Okay, makes sense. Agree immediately to maintain the relationship. You don't agree to things in a project for relationship purposes. Everything that you do in a project, it must be linked to project objectives and goals and even value, business value you're deriving from there, not relationships. So making this one incorrect answer. Overload the resource silently. You don't overload anyone in a project. That's not a good mindset. So making this one incorrect answer. Remove the task from the schedule. You don't remove the task. What if the task is going to produce a very important deliverable or create a very important milestone? You don't do that in a project environment. Making A the best answer in this particular scenario. So you need to review the capacity, the raw fit, and also the impact before agreeing. Because remember, you want to assign this to a preferred resource who is also lacking capacity. So you need to review the capacity, raw fit, and also the impact. How do we link it back to our PM book? You have a resource performance domain, okay? And what is the best mindset in this particular scenario? You need to balance stakeholder request with a resource reality, okay? What does it mean? If there's a request from stakeholder, you also need to assess your resources and also you also need to assign your tasks accordingly. Making A the best answer because resource decisions should consider capacity, project impact, and not just influence alone. Making A the best answer. If you want me to create more videos based on what we've gone through in this video, you can reach out to me or you can let me know in the comment section below.